Welcome. I'm Jessie, and I'm a birth mother.
I'm Carrie, an adoptive mother and an adoptee.
And I'm Marilyn, a transracial adoptee from Haiti, and we are Roots.
Together, we make up the Adoption Triad. Thank you for joining us as we explore the realities of adoption from our diverse perspectives and knowledge.
We know that each adoption experience is unique and deserves to be valued and respected. We understand that our stories may not be reflective of everyone else's experiences, but we strive to represent the adoption community well.
Please note that in this series, we will delve into thought-provoking topics that may challenge your perspectives, but we encourage you to listen with an open mind and desire to learn. So pull up a seat and let's talk.
Welcome, ladies. Thanks for
Hello.
joining us for our next episode of Roots. This episode, we're going to be kind of recapping 2024 and then touching on 2025 and what's coming to charities in the next year. We've done a lot of stuff this year,
Yeah,
which
we
has
have.
been a lot of fun. But let's go around the circle. Let's introduce ourselves for those who are new and joining us for the first time. My name is Jessie. I'm a birth mom, and I am the director of birth mother programs at Abiding Love Charities. So I oversee all the birth mom stuff. Mirlyn.
Yes, and I'm Marilyn, also Lynn, and I am an adoptee. I am also the director of adoptee relations here at Abiding Love Charities.
Awesome. I'm Carrie, and I am a part of Tier 2, which is Adoptive Parent Services. And I am also an adoptee, and I'm an adoptive parent.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. So I guess let's get into it. We can start with tier one. So the way that charities is set up for anyone that's new watching is we have three tiers. So the first tier is birth parent support, birth mother support. Tier two is adoptive parent support, and tier three is adoptee services as well. And like I said, we've done a lot of really cool stuff this year. It's been a busy year for charities, and we're so excited for 2025. We've got some new additions to our team that we're excited to introduce to everyone. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm pumped. But in 2024, for my tier, we officially launched our birth mother mentorship program, which is near and dear to my heart. Obviously, I've been working on this for a while now, but the way that it works is we try to pair anyone who is looking for one-on-one mentorship with a birth mother who shares similar experiences. So we know that not everyone likes therapy or maybe wants to speak to a birth mother, someone who can understand what they're dealing with. I know for me, talk therapy only did so much for me, but it was really when I started building those relationships with other birth mothers that really transformed my healing journey for myself. And that's what I really want to put into this program. And really what I want our moms to get out of it is just to kind of feel supported and feel like they are really truly valued within this community. And then we wrapped up SEEN. So we have the nation's first faith-based birth mother healing program, a written curriculum, and it is 3 years of curriculum. Every year we come out with a new, I guess, series of lessons with videos. And this past summer, we finally filmed and wrapped up SEEN 3, and every year kind of builds on itself. So year one, certainly not basic by any means, like the topics, but it's like an introduction to some of this stuff. And then year two dives in a little bit deeper. And then year three gets in a little bit even more deep. But in SEEN 3, I really wanted to provide practical tools. And I also wanted it to be very reflective of their journey. Hopefully they've gone through all the other years, but one of the lessons that I'm really excited about is called, we go through the post-traumatic growth inventory. So we all know what PTSD is, but this is different. And this is basically a worksheet of sorts where you go through, and it's just a good assessment for people in general to kind of gauge where they are after they've experienced crisis or a traumatic event and how much they've grown from that experience. Because I want to use my experience to be better, be a better person in general, but I want to use it to be able to help the women who are going to go after me. And that's kind of what this post-traumatic growth inventory does. And it helps you, again, just assess where you are and maybe some areas that you need improvement in and things that you can kind of work on. So I really like the post-traumatic growth inventory lesson. We go over breaking cycles. We talk about different expectations and even entitlement too. And it gets challenging, it gets into it. But all of the lessons, while they relate to adoption, I really wanted it to be a little bit more broad so that we could apply these tools and these skills into everyday life. I believe that if we're only focusing on grief, then we're not doing enough. We're just scratching the surface of post-placement care. And so that's what I put in to scene
Mhm.
3. And I think it's great. I'm really excited for it. And I'm kind of sad that we're done writing scene.
Mhm.
But part of me feels like we're not ever really done writing
Mhm.
scene. But I'm really excited that we did this and it all came together really beautifully. We also launched our Birth Mother Social Club. So everyone knows what a support group is, but a lot of moms don't really want to go to support group. Some are intimidated by the support group setting, and some of them are kind of over the support group setting. I know sometimes I feel like that, having been in this space for a while and being involved, it's just nice to hang out casually with other birth moms, and that's what the social club is for. We started the first launch in Savannah. So Carrie, I know that you've been doing those, which is fantastic. And so we're hoping that those will expand to other locations and they'll be able to do various activities. I know we've done ice cream, pizza, um, really whatever the group wants to do. I really want it to be member led, and just kind of based on the interests and the personalities of the women in the group so that they can just hang out and get to know one another on a friendship level, not just because they're birth moms, because
Right.
that's what's going to give them longevity in this community. So those are just some of the things that we have brought to Tier 1. There's so many other little things that we could talk about.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's been a good year. And in 2025, we're going to be launching some other new programs and also just working on changing and tweaking and making existing programs better. Like I said, the Birth Mother, the social club, I really want to get that off the ground more and get that into new cities and new locations. And we're hoping that more birth moms will get involved and want to volunteer their time to help us with this mission because it means a lot. It means a lot to me. And if you're watching this, if anyone's watching this and is interested in the social club, let me know. Let's figure it out. Let's do this together. So I guess we'll move on to Tier 2. I would love to hear
Yeah.
about what's been going on in 2024 and what's coming.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned the birth mother socials, and so we did launch that probably early fall of this year. We've had a couple of those, and we've done ice cream, like Jesse mentioned, pizza, and so we're going to be scheduling our next one in February, and that is for this particular area where I'm at. I'm in the Savannah, Georgia area. So Hilton Head area, Savannah area. It's open to birth mothers, whether you've placed, if you're in direct relationship with Abiding Love. It doesn't matter what agency you place with, when you placed, any birth mother. And so we would love to have you join us. They last about an hour and a half, 2 hours. But like Jesse mentioned, really creating a friendship. It's not just because you're a birth mother. I mean, that is the
Right.
one thing that connects you, but it's really finding a friend. It is walking alongside someone that is on the same journey as you. And so our focus for our whole tiers this year in 2024 was community. And so that is something I truly believe for each of us, whether an adoptee, adoptive parent, birth mother, birth families, is that community is so important in building those relationships with like-minded people and even people that maybe have different views than you, different perspectives, different stories. And so not only did we do the birth mother socials, getting those launched, but we're doing adoptive parent meetups. And ours, the one that I've been doing has been in the Savannah area. And we have done a few of those. And I know that over time they're going to grow. It's going to take work. It's going to take consistency, and just getting the word out and spreading that word. But I'm just a firm believer in relationships and connecting on a more personal level. Being an adoptive parent is it's what we all have in common, but there's so much more to us than just being an adoptive parent. And so I really believe that these meetups are like key to helping us be the best that we can be for our adoptee and for our children's birth families. So it's been really fun, and I just enjoy getting to meet different people. And I think it's a great outlet to expand and hopefully, like Jesse said, invited other birth mothers, but other adoptive families, and then just to be able to grow that and it to be in other cities. And, I hope, and in the future, and I have dreams of just goals of having that expand in 2025 and being able to add those to other cities. So we could use more adoptive parents that want to, host these groups. Abiding Love Charity will help, take care of, the pizza or the ice cream. So, the financial burden would not be on you directly. So that's something that we'll help with. And another thing, I'm just excited about the new transition of 2025, and that we are going to be getting a director for Tier 2. I've been kind of filling in over the last year and a half, because not only being on charities, I'm also on the agency side, which is separate from charities. And so that really is my first, I say first love, but really where my heart is. I love adoptive parents because I am one, but I also love serving expectant mothers and birth mothers. And so I'm just excited and looking forward to 2025 and all that that's going to entail, and just the heart and the vision and the goals and dreams that this individual, is going to bring to this, bring to the charity side. So I'm just looking forward to being able to serve and do what I need to do to help her accomplish those goals. So I would just say the adoptive parent meetups and the birth mother socials. And I'm just excited for next year, and just honored to walk alongside these ladies. And I know that Jessie has put in so much work in Tier 2 this year, not Tier 2, Tier 1. And just grateful to get to be a part of it.
Yeah, this is a good team. I'm super, super grateful for you guys. So, Mira Lynn, do you want to touch on Tier 3?
All right, Tier 3, so that's adoptee services. One of the biggest projects that I've been working on, I'm super excited that will be launching
A drum roll for this.
December. No, it's called the Adoptee Keepsake Box. And this is something that since I've been hired on that I've wanted to get done, and seeing it come into fruition is amazing. And so the adoptee box is really it's basically a keepsake box. It has little mini drawers. It has little cubbies.
Do you have one?
I do.
Can I make a little quick appearance?
I think you can.
A little sneak peek.
Sneak peek of what you're gonna
Wow.
see. This is the unfinished one. It doesn't have anything in it, but this is what it's gonna look like. It has little cubbies. I love it. And
it's like a fabric material. It's not like
it's fabric material.
It's nice. These things are
solid.
nice.
It's not. It is solid. It's not flimsy. Really good quality. Really, really good quality stuff. And the box is very important to me because I love keeping things, and I wish that I had like a special place that I kept a lot of my personal stuff in there as an adoptee. And so I'm building this box. It was very important to incorporate a lot of things. One is that we ordered the box from an organization called Post, and it is run by 2 adoptees. And so that was really important of supporting and uplifting other people, other members in the triad as well. We also will have this book. It's called Worthy, and it's written by Courtney Tierra, and she is a birth mother, right? And so she wrote this book, so this will be in the box as well. And I think it's really important to have a birth mother voice as well in there.
What's the little book? What's it about? What's the premise of the book?
Worthy, a book for all kids of ages. It really is. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, orange, yellow, green, you are worthy of love. It doesn't matter, like, it's just we are all worthy of love. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's really simple. This box is catered from 0 to about 8, 9, 10, I would say. Um, I also some of the things I've personally worked on. One that I'm really excited is that I have a coloring book in there and it's called Wonderfully Made, and it's 52 illustration prompts. So I wish I had an example to show you, but it's going to be, weekly, and it's going to be pocket size. I have children, and one of my middle child, she loves to bring stuff on the go. So I wanted something that you can take, put it in your purse, put it in their book bag, and just get out and color it. And so it's supposed to just it's have them have conversation and start thinking. So one of the prompts is like, draw, color, or illustrate what color you feel today, or how do you envision heaven, illustrate how you envision heaven, or if you could be an animal, what would be it ranges from so many different things. And along with something else I'm about to talk about, I really wanted to have things that get the kids thinking. And a lot of times I didn't talk about adoption as an adoptee. Like I wasn't like, oh, to my parents, but having these things that kids are talking about, they're thinking about it. It's a very natural thing. So that's why the coloring book is really important for those who are just artistic. And it's 52 weeks, a prompt for each week, and very portable. I
Would
also
these
have,
books, sorry, would these books be good to bring like on visits? Like if they were gonna have a visit with their
yes.
biological family to maybe like do one together?
Mhm. I love it. I love it.
That
Yes.
is a good idea.
That is an excellent idea. And so, yes, it's very portable. Do it all together. I mean, and you could, yeah, that's a perfect idea, Jesse. Also, another thing is I know y'all have heard of like connection cards, but we have these family connection cards that I've made. Um, and I'm trying to think of like 365 connection cards. They'll come with them, and it's a question each day. And I'm a big person, like I like having dinner with my family, with my kids. We like to
Mhm.
sit, we like to talk and joke, and that's what I grew up doing as well. And so these connection cards are meant to be on your table, um, or just wherever you are, like, in the living room, the dining room, wherever you are all together. And to start conversation. And again, one of the things is kids don't really like talking about themselves necessarily. They don't want all the attention on them. So if we're asking questions in a fun and light way, you can really get to know what's going on with your child.
Mhm.
I do have some more serious ones, but I also have fun, um, fun ones, ones that are thought provoking, and all of these things are faith based. They have a biblical undertone in all of them, and so there will be Bible verses and just little small lessons, little things here and there that will point back to scripture. So. And then we also would have like this, like a little stuffy in there. It's actually a heart, which I think is super cute. And one heart, the little small heart, will be for the adoptee, and then you would give the other heart to the birth
So
mother.
there's two in
Okay.
each
So
box.
there's two in each box. And so
Cool.
I think that's super special. I didn't have anything like that. I think, so if your child wants to feel close to their biological mother, biological family, they can squeeze it. And it's a lot of symbolism in there. That's
Hmm.
amazing. Um, One cool thing is we will have this in there. But next, I believe we're gonna have maybe like a couple special boxes, but I've written a book about adoption.
We need another drum roll
The drum
for
roll.
this.
So my book, I wrote it, but and so that's going to be in there. We're working on illustrations right now, getting it. Well, we have an illustrator, so she's going to illustrate that for us. And once that gets illustrated and published, you will have you order a box, you will have access to be one of the first few people to get the book. I'm very excited about it. It's about a young girl who was adopted transracially. And so the big thing is she's having her biological family come over for dinner um, with her adoptive parents. Like it's just a dinner, it's dinner time and just all that comes with it. It's simple, but it's definitely highlighting open adoption
Mhm.
and how beneficial it is
Yeah,
for
I
the
remember reading your edits and what I felt in the book. You just did a really good job of making that situation and painting the picture, and it was just normal. It was like it's just a casual story
Mhm.
of, this child and her relationship with her biological parents and the adoptive parents as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah.
And I could feel that in the book. Like it was just, this is her life,
Oh,
this is her story, and it just felt really comfortable. And I think I think
thank
we
yeah.
overcomplicate a lot of this stuff in adoption sometimes as
Mhm.
adults, and it doesn't need to be so complicated. And that's exactly what that book
Mhm.
expressed. So I really appreciated it as a
Yeah.
birth parent, and it's just amazing when families are able to recognize, like, yeah, this is her life, this is
Normal,
normal for
right.
us, because it is. Like, they don't,
Yeah,
children aren't born with an innate sense of what a family's supposed to look like.
exactly.
And again, you could really, really feel that in the book. And so I
Yeah.
think it's fantastic. I'm so excited for both of these projects for you, because I know that this has been something you've put in so much time and effort,
Mhm.
and I'm just so
Yeah, I'm
excited.
excited. I hope everybody likes it. And I do appreciate that synopsis about the book because that's what I really wanted. A lot of people are scared of open adoptions. A lot of people, they wait to tell their children that they're adopted, all these things. And it should be something just so normal. And that's what I wanted to just write a book that it's normal, it's okay. There's no secret, there's no shame, there's nothing behind it. And just to really normalize it. And so those are my big projects. I'm also working on coaching calls. I absolutely love coaching calls.
Yes.
Um, and I do one-on-ones with prospective adoptive parents, almost and ones who have already I've had placement. And so that's what I've been working on. And next year I have big goals and big ideas. I don't know if none of them are approved, so I'm not gonna say anything. Oh yeah, but that's
Yeah,
it.
that you touched on a good point about our coaching calls. I know that that's been something we've been doing for a while now, but it's really not been something that we've really advertised much
Mhm.
or promoted until sort of recently. But each of us do individual, hour-long coaching calls, and on a variety of different topics. I know, Mirlin, you are extremely well versed and passionate about transracial interracial adoption. um, but there's a whole bunch of stuff that we can
Mhm.
talk about. And if there's ever a topic maybe that even a family is struggling with that they don't see on our coaching call list,
You can get a personalized
we
one.
can get a
Um,
personalized one. Because I mean, this is a solid team. I'm trying, I don't want
yeah.
to toot our horn too much, but I love this team. You guys are so well versed and can really talk about any of these things in depth. And so we really want to be able to take care of this community in a way that has not really been around before. I know all of us really struggled to find post-placement support, and there's a ton of education that happens before placement, but there's really nothing that happens after the fact. And that's what these coaching calls are for. Yes, we can talk with prospective adoptive families as well who are trying to learn more and prepare themselves for adoption, but there's so many unknowns and things that you really can't prepare for before placement occurs. And so we want to be able to be a resource to families to be able to support their child and the biological family to the best of their abilities and just navigate this adoption well. And we even
Right.
do coaching calls for birth parents too, which is something a little bit different. So all of our services are free, like I said, for birth moms, but the coaching calls are a little different. So we have our mentorships. They can do like one-on-one, just kind of
Mhm.
talking with the peer. There's therapy, but the coaching calls for the birth moms are specific in the education that we're providing. So we have one that's basically kind of centered towards grief. We've developed a grief plan. So sort of like a safety plan of sorts. And so we just kind of go through this worksheet. There's information, there's education. we're able to identify, some of the specific triggers that we might experience during and after placement, and just kind of help process through this grief. I know a lot of birth mothers really struggle with processing it. I know I did. I didn't really understand that what I was experiencing was grief because I wasn't crying all day long, and I had chosen this, so I didn't feel like I could grieve. So I felt really stuck for a while, and that's what this grief plan is for. It's kind of brings in some therapeutic elements. While we're not licensed therapists, but it's certainly inspired by some of the things that we have learned along the way and the research that we've done to help, women really kind of
Yeah.
get through and move forward this process. So
Jesse, I
that's
kind of,
good.
before you go, you said something that I kind of want to highlight that
Yeah.
about that we provide education. We're not, we're not therapists, but we are very intentional about learning. And so throughout the year, like I know I've gotten a lot of certificates through
Mm-hmm.
NCFA, whatever organizations there are. I know we've done classes and some we may not get like the technically like the credits, school credits, but we got the attendance. And
Right.
so I say all that to say is that we take this very seriously.
Yes,
We
we
are,
do. We're
yeah,
not going to
our
mess around
heads,
with this stuff.
right. And also with the coaching calls, it's not just us like talking at you. Like I really try to provide a space where the parents can ask me anything. And when I
Mm.
say you can ask me anything that nothing is off limits. In this time, nothing is off limits. I'm not going to get offended.
Yeah.
And I believe that they appreciate that. And I think it's so, so important. So if it's from transracial, something, about Black hair, or it's about, did I hate my birth mother? Like anything and everything, nothing's off limits during these
Yes.
coaching calls. And I really believe that you'll find it beneficial. And it's really like having somebody who's just holding your hand, walking you through things, and just giving you a place to just analyze things in different ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you make a good point. Like asking the questions. I feel like people are always really afraid to ask me questions, and they're afraid they're going to offend me, which I appreciate. But at the end of the day, I mean, I don't think any of us would be doing this work if we were going to be easily offended. We make ourselves available to these families in these situations because
Mhm.
we know how this feels.
Right.
And there's really no stupid question. I'd rather them ask me than say the wrong thing and hurt someone else. I have never been asked a question that I didn't feel comfortable answering, but I'm also very comfortable with saying I don't feel comfortable answering that question. But
Exactly.
I've never had to do that because you need this. This is important information because we want to be able to raise confident adoptees. I want these birth moms to be healthy. Like this is your opportunity to really lean in and ask these questions you've always wanted to ask, but maybe we're a little too afraid to ask. Now, our experiences, we certainly don't speak for the, every single experience out there, but like Marilyn was saying, like we've done hours, I mean, countless hours, years of research into this, into our own experiences and trying to understand this community. And, again, we can't speak for all experiences, but our own knowledge is expansive, and it is truly amazing, like being able to work with you guys and work for this organization because Marilyn, you've said this so many times, like we inspire each other, and I feel that every single day after every meeting. I'm like, ready to go because it's true. Like this is a really amazing, amazing team. And we bring a lot to the table and we want to serve this community so
Yeah.
well because it matters so much to us. Very
Right.
intentional
because
about
it
it.
because it's personal.
Yeah,
Because this is what we walk every day.
every day.
And so that we're actually the triad, like we are the triad, like we have a,
Yeah.
we take up space in these, particular tiers. So we
Yeah.
live it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
We can't
know,
just like turn it off. We can't clock in and out of our jobs
yeah,
sometimes.
as much as we try, as much as I try.
Yeah.
I was a little like, I'm not gonna lie, for this episode, I was like, like I feel like I haven't done much this year. But after talking, I know, right? It's crazy.
Me or
But
Landon.
I tend, yes. But I'm just saying it makes me realize like even the small things, like the education part. And I even take my mental health seriously, and
Mm, mm-hmm.
being in therapy and making sure that I'm good and I'm in a place that I'm being really smart and careful with my words and how I coach people along the way.
Right.
And just like the team, like all the things that we've done, all the newsletters, blogs, social media posts, the reels, like there's so much that we've done in a year that for me sometimes it can just happen, and even the small
Right.
things I'll be like, oh, that was nothing. But in the like with it all, it's just
Those-
such a huge
yeah,
thing.
those small things really, in the grand scheme of thing, are the big things that
Right.
make charities what charities is.
Exactly.
Right.
All the y'all, conferences that people went this year, the people that you connected with,
Mm.
got to know who we are,
Our golf
and
fundraiser.
the golf fundraiser, like these are amazing things. And to get all that done in a year, it's pretty cool. And yeah, I'm tooting our horn because
Yeah.
sometimes we do need that to continue because this work can be very heavy, it can be very
Yeah.
hard. And I don't do it for a thank you. I do it so an adoptee feels whole later on. And we all do it for
Yeah.
our different reasons. And so,
Right.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
we did a good job.
I think we did too. Yeah. It's been a year. My goodness. I seriously am so excited for 2025. Like Carrie was talking, we've got some new people on the team, and we're so excited to hit the ground running and, see what's in store for 2025. Yeah, I feel like I want to do so much in 2025 at Maryland. It hasn't been approved yet. We're like,
One
don't
thing
say
I
too
can say
much, but
that is not necessarily being approved. I really want to be able to build and have more adoptee voices
mm,
in this tier. So, and I don't know what that's going to look like. I'm so excited that Carrie's going to be doing a lot more with the adoptee stuff as well. But that's one thing I'm really excited about. It's
yeah,
getting those voices, getting other adoptees, because like, yeah, we work
yeah.
in power in numbers.
Yeah, I know you guys are probably sick and tired of hearing me say it, but no one is going to care more about birth mothers than other birth mothers, and no one's going to care more about adoptees than other adoptees. And we can't wait around for someone else to care,
Mhm.
Like, yeah, sure, people could care a lot, but it's different because they've not lived it, they've not experienced it. And so we are the best people to speak up and speak out and get involved, and make the difference that we want to see. I mean, that was a big reason why I know I got involved in stuff is I think I was kind of waiting for someone else to do it for me. And
Mm,
then it didn't happen. um, I'm like, well, guess I'm just gonna have to do this myself then because no one else really seems to be doing it. And, it's been life changing for me and some of the other friends of mine that kind of have the same perspective. And, we've got to get more of these voices. We've got to let go of that shame. We've got to empower birth parents and adoptees to speak up more and get involved, again, to make the change that we want to see. I know that's kind of like a cliche quote, but
it's true.
it is true. Yeah.
You change, you're gonna see.
All right. Well, I guess we'll wrap up this episode. Does anyone have any little comments, things they want to say before we wrap up?
No,
No?
no.
None here.
All right. Well, thanks for everyone who has tuned in. We are looking forward to our next Roots video, and we hope everyone has had just as amazing year as we've had. And I hope 2025 brings a lot of new growth and reflection and joy in everyone's life and adoption. And
Yes.
until next time,
Till
we'll
next
see
time.
ya.
Bye, y'all.